Hi, and welcome to this absolutely free video course by The Social M's. If you've been asking yourself how to turn your blog into a revenue machine, then you've come to the right place. This series of videos is called 3 Steps to Turn Your Blog into a Money Machine. There will be a video about each of these 3 steps, and we are going to finish with the 4th bonus video. Now, before I get into the actual topic, let me say hello. I'm Jonathan Gebauer, and together with my sister Susanna, I run The Social M's. We help bloggers make more money with their blogs and allow them to live the life they want. I will get into why we are really good at that in a moment. But before I do that, I want to ask you a question. Why are you here? You're probably here because you already have a blog, you may already have some traction, you maybe have some email subscribers, and maybe you're already making a bit of money from your blog. And what's probably most important is that you believe in yourself. You believe that what you're doing with your blog can become a serious business that allows you to quit your job, or at least become a very profitable sideshow. Whatever your goals are with your blog, you have that strong belief that you can reach them. And of course, you're here because you're ready for the next step. And this is what this video course is all about. This video course will cover the 3 important steps of the blogging business model and how you can apply them for your own blog. In today's video, I will show you everything you need to know about the first step of the blogging business plan, getting traffic and gaining traction. In the next 2 videos, I will cover the second and the third piece of the puzzle, growing an email list and creating products and selling them. After those 3 videos, you will also receive a 4th video, which will be a bonus video, so stay tuned for that too. Before I get into the important topic of how to build traffic and an audience, I have to tell you a little bit about ourselves and our history. As I said before, I run The Social M's together with my sister and business partner Susanna, and we specialize in making blogs successful. And when I say this, I mean blogs of any kind and in any niche. There are about 3 to 4 billion people out there that consume blog content. So you can be sure that there's a relevant audience for almost any topic and any niche on the web. Whatever your niche is, there is a way to make money in that niche with a blog. And there's definitely a way to make more money with your blog than what you're making today. That said, The Social M's may be a very successful business, but The Social M's isn't our first business. And before we got here, we had our fair share of failures. And for this lesson, I need to tell you about our first business, because the first important lesson of this course can be learned from that experience. Our first online business was called Explore B2B. It was an online publishing platform for business content, similar to Medium. Users were allowed to register for free and publish business content, and we would create the world's largest business magazine from that content. Like many other online businesses, we had to develop our own marketing strategy, and we didn't have a relevant marketing budget. But after some difficulties, we became really good at generating traffic and getting registered users. At its peak, Explore B2B had around 500,000 monthly page views and over 80,000 registered users. That's really a lot. But that didn't mean that everything was going well for our business. Quite the contrary. Although we had a lot of page views and a lot of registered users, in 2014 we had to close Explore B2B. We simply didn't make enough money to run Explore B2B as a sustainable business. And that was because we had ignored one of the fundamental truths about running an online business. Traffic needs to be targeted. And that's also the first takeaway from this video course and the reason why I told you about our history in this video. If your traffic isn't focused and targeted, you are going to have a really hard time making enough money from your blog. Think about this for a second. Web traffic essentially means that people click on your website. But if your traffic isn't targeted, or in other words, those people aren't really interested in what you have to offer, then you're going to have a really hard time to offer something that they really want to buy or even make money on ads. If your traffic isn't targeted, you are going to need millions of monthly visitors to your blog to make money. But if your traffic is targeted, you can make a lot of money on a couple of hundred clicks per day. When we closed Explore B2B, we started The Social M's and we finally learned that lesson. The Social M's doesn't focus on getting hundreds of thousands of clicks. Instead, we focus on getting highly targeted traffic. Traffic that we can monetize because it comes from visitors that we can help achieve their goals. We focus on one specific use case only. We make blogs successful. And we create products that solve this one particular problem. That's what we do, that's what our blog and our whole business is focused on. This business plan works really well for us, not just in making money, but also for our brand. As an example, here are some of the numerous publications we've been featured on. Keep in mind, when you compare raw traffic numbers, we are a very small blog. We don't need millions of unique visitors to gain traction, because we focus on one type of traffic that really makes money, and that's targeted traffic. Again, the big difference to what we did before is that we focus on targeted traffic. Targeted traffic allows you to build your audience around people that love what you do. And when people love what you do, it's more likely that they will invest in what you offer to them. But how do you get targeted traffic? The first step in getting targeted traffic is creating focused content. And when we talk about focused content on blogs, of course we talk about writing blog posts. Here's how to create blog posts that attract an audience. You do that by writing focused and helpful blog posts like tutorials and how-to posts that allow your target audience to achieve something they wouldn't be able to achieve otherwise. And you do that by always focusing on creating content pieces that have a clear takeaway or learning experience. On the other hand, what you shouldn't do is just writing about stories and your experiences. That's a mistake I see many bloggers do. They focus on writing about their life, but there's no actual benefit for the people reading the posts. And when there's no benefit, people leave without subscribing or buying anything. As a blogger, you need to be more than just an entertainer. You need to be helpful. But of course, just writing great and helpful content isn't enough. It's just the first step to targeted traffic. You still have to show people that your content exists. They still need to be able to find, or better, discover your content. In other words, that you have targeted traffic is no excuse for not having any traffic at all. You still need to find a traffic source that works for you and your blog. So let's talk about finding that traffic source. Here's one truth about running a web business. Every web business needs a scalable traffic source. A traffic source that you know works for you and that you can grow your traffic with over time. And when you think about this, this is not so different from a traditional business. Those big car companies or food companies or whatever, they all have a way of getting more attention when they need it. When their business is having a bad time, they would just increase their advertising spend and get more attention. But for your blog, the important thing is that you're working with cost-effective traffic sources. And finding just one scalable traffic source is enough for your blog to become very profitable. So what exactly is a scalable traffic source and how do you find it? A traffic source is just that. It's a way of getting clicks on your website. Or when you flip the table and look at it from the perspective of your target audience, it's a way for them to discover your content. There are literally hundreds of traffic sources that you can use for free and work with for your blog. For instance, there's search engine optimization, which makes your blog more visible on Google or Bing. There's social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and all the others. And there are techniques like guest blogging. There's so much more. And when you're a blogger, the temptation is probably big just to try everything out. And that usually leads to disaster, because when you try everything at once, you never really work hard on a specific traffic source and get to a point where it even has a chance to work like it should. You will end up getting a couple of clicks from one traffic source and a couple of clicks from another. But you will never get to a point where you can say, hey, this really works. What you should do instead is select 2 or 3 traffic sources that look most promising to you. For instance, you may focus on Pinterest and learn all you can about it. Apply it to your business and take the time to build a Pinterest presence. And when you finally start seeing good results from one traffic source, then you should focus on this traffic source and improve those results. That's what we marketers mean when we talk about scalable traffic sources. When you get 50 clicks from Pinterest, for instance, you can easily work out how to get 200 clicks. Of course, when you find out that a traffic source doesn't work for you at all, you should stop working with it. But you need to invest time into each traffic source first. Let me give you some examples of how effective scalable traffic sources can be. Let's start with our first business, Explore B2B. Of course, you might believe that it's not the best example because it failed, but that was due to not having enough highly focused content. When talking about traffic, that business was amazing. Our primary scalable traffic source for Explore B2B was Twitter, and we managed to get 200,000 page views per month from Twitter alone. But one great thing about finding one scalable traffic source is that you always discover more scalable traffic sources in the process. Secondary traffic sources that worked really well for Explore B2B were search engines and guest blogging, which led to a total of around 500,000 monthly page views. Now, let's look at our current business, TheSocialMs. You may think that we would use Twitter again as our primary traffic source, as we obviously had some success in the past with it. But that's not the case. Our primary traffic source today is SEO, which gets us around 50% of our traffic. Secondary traffic sources that work really well for us are Pinterest and, of course, Twitter. And here's another final example. Have you heard about Artifact Uprising? When they started, they were a small startup selling photo books. Now, since they were working with visual content anyway, Pinterest was a promising network for them to go to for traffic generation. Long story short, one of their early pins went viral, and this one pin was enough to build their $1 million business. That one pin got them over 40,000 clicks in less than a week. And that was targeted traffic. That's the massive power of finding a scalable traffic source for your website. Now, we're getting to the end of this video lesson, so let's have a look at what we've talked about today. An online business can fail even if it has a lot of traffic. It's not just traffic, it's targeted traffic that makes a business successful. You attract targeted traffic with focused content. To get traffic to your content, you need at least one scalable traffic source. But trying every possible traffic source at once will lead to disaster. Instead, you should focus on few traffic sources at once until you find one that you know will work for your business. Wow, that was quite a lot for this short video. Today, we covered the whole first step of the blogging business model: traffic, audience, and traction. The next video will arrive in your inbox tomorrow, and we will talk about the next step in the blogging business model: how to turn traffic into an engaged audience through building an email list. And in the third video, we're going to talk about creating products and selling them to your audience. After that, I'm also going to send you a fourth bonus video, and I hope you're looking forward to that. It's worth it. Thanks for staying with me until the very end of this video, and return tomorrow for the next one. I'm Jonathan Gebauer at TheSocialMs. Bye!